Did you know that you can tell a lot about how developed a region is by looking at just one part of its economy? In many places, the service sector is one of the clearest indicators of how far a city has advanced, and Hangzhou is a perfect example. Hyper-competitive small businesses like souvenir shops, printing stores and traditional food booths, on-demand mobility, which lets you rent a bicycle on the spot, the shift away from cash with QR payments available all over the place. But the thing you instantly notice coming to Hangzhou is the amount of delivery scooters swirling around. With approximately 12.5 million people living in the city, there are 350,000 registered couriers and 2.2 million delivery dispatches every day. It makes about 174 dispatches per 1,000 people, which is more than in Guangzhou and Shanghai with 132 per 1,000 and 121 per 1,000 accordingly. Battalions of delivery men are on active duty day and night to facilitate millions of orders in peak hours, creating logistics nightmare for the city to solve. And to keep that two-wheeled non-stop cavalry going, there's every kind of rules, infrastructure, and even top-notch technologies sometimes hidden in plain sight. The first obvious feature is the presence of dedicated non-motor lanes, often physically separated from car traffic by curbs, barriers, or green belts. A large body of researchers show that physical separation from motor vehicles improves safety for pedestrians and two-wheeled vehicles users. In addition, at some intersections, Hangzhou employs dedicated signals and other controls for non-motor traffic and pedestrians. Second, in Hangzhou, certain intersections are equipped with right turn signal control, which is practically adding a red arrow, preventing motor vehicles turning right, so two-wheelers and pedestrians clear intersection first. It should reduce so-called green light conflict, where motorized vehicles, non-motorized vehicles, and pedestrians end up at the same intersection at the same time, creating hazards to each other. According to the local reports, new system improves right turn efficiency while better protecting non-motor users and pedestrians. Third thing is abundance of dedicated parking spots for two-wheelers. But what is special is designating parking spots for delivery service scooters only, which you can notice by blue parking signs. They usually located around busy commercial streets and made basically acknowledging that if you don't provide space, riders will stack up everywhere, worsening the traffic all over the place. Another interesting thing is Courier-Friendly City campaign launched in 2024. Many residential areas have gates, and riders may be forced to register at the entrance, which is especially stressful when the order is about to time out. The city introduced the Courier QR code, which allows riders to authenticate via smartphone app to scan into gated communities and office complexes, eliminating delays at entry gates. According to trials, this digital pass showed that couriers save about 5 to 6 minutes per order using the code, sharply reducing late delivery complaints. Not only for speed deliveries, but for safety. In 2023, the city imposed a whole set of comprehensive rules on platforms. It forces companies to register couriers, provide safety training, implement anti-fatigue mechanisms, and require accident insurance for riders. Experts call it meaningful and typical for China. Local legislation pilots first and then informs broader policy. There is one more thing, enigma of the city traffic management, hidden in plain sight. City Brain. It started in Hangzhou in 2016 as a collaboration between the city government and Alibaba Cloud. And at first it focused on one problem: traffic congestion. Hangzhou is a city with 12.5 million people and roughly 4.7 million registered vehicles. And in terms of traffic jams, it was the second worst all over China. City Brain, in essence, is a city-wide network that follows a simple loop: sense, analyze, act. It pulls real data from cameras and traffic infrastructure, uses AI to spot accidents and congestion patterns, and then recommends or sometimes automatically makes changes to the traffic light timing.
那碰巧呢，我们自己的这个专长又在云计算上了，至少我们说不能彻底解决问题，但是有条件，至少来改善这个问题，是拿数据来解决交通问题。但实际上，用今天比较时髦的话来讲，其实涉及到图像识别的问题，涉及到人工智能的问题，涉及到视频处理的问题，涉及到云计算的问题，涉及到几乎你可以想到的这个都会碰到了。
To the addition of signal optimization, CityBrains also supports emergency routing, meaning ambulances and other emergency vehicles get real-time data on traffic congestions and recommendations of best route to the destination. 2018 local reports claim that Hangzhou congestion ranking dropped from the 2nd to 31st place nationwide. Peak hour driving speed increased by 15% and ambulances arrive 2 times faster than before. It sure makes a great deal of difference for the couriers as well, doesn't it? To know that, I interviewed several delivery guys I managed to find on the street and asked questions regarding their job. Let's listen to one of them.
那请问一下，您就是一天基本要送大概多少外卖呢？
一天平均的话是50单，50。
就是您送外卖的时候，您有感觉到就是时间会很紧张吗？就是非要就是很急的去跑每一单这个样子？
中午吃饭的时候会，别的时间还好。
就是如果您在这个跑单的途中，如果有那种推迟的情况，一般是因为交通的问题还是顾客的问题？
都有吧，商家什么玩意儿都有。
他就说他在杭州这几天发现有很多那种停车位都是专门来停这种电瓶车的。您觉得这种很多这种停车位对您会有帮助吗？
会有，非常好，我觉得这非常好。Very good.
It's really helpful. 然后他就说，就是之前杭州可能也是比较传统的城市，但是最近因为科技发展，他们现在用 AI 来控制整个交通系统了。然后您觉得会就是对整体的交通会有一些改善吗？
这个我没了解过。他说现在那个 AI 控制这个红绿灯会对我们交通有改善吗？这个还真不知道。我们就是等红灯绿了就走。红灯亮了就停。
然后他说最后一个问题就是，您觉得就是做外卖这个工作的话，最难的一个部分，或者是有什么困难吗？然后您觉得就是哪方面是最难的？
你觉得哪方面的呢？对这个地方不熟悉吧？就说在这个范围内他不熟悉，就是比较取餐不容易，找不到地方，然后和那个顾客找不到地方。
Other interviewees' replies were similar. They make about 50 to 55 deliveries a day, say that anything and everything can cause delays, don't notice any AI doing anything, and aren't even aware that CityBrain exists. Hangzhou today is an entire urban system built to keep speed from turning into danger. The city doesn't just have delivery. It manages it, dedicated non-motor lanes, intersection controls, access tools like the courier code, and even local rules that push back against unrealistic delivery time demands. All of that exists for one reason: to make millions of daily deliveries possible without the city collapsing into chaos. Writers won't tell you about AI or legislation. They don't know anything about CityBrain. What they do know is simple. Green means go, red means stop, and the next order is waiting. And that's exactly the point. The best infrastructure is invisible to the people using it. Couriers really are the capillaries of urban life, and the city's job is to keep those capillaries unblocked. If the courier can focus on the next order instead of surviving traffic, then Hangzhou is definitely doing something right. Thank you for watching.
我理想当中城市大脑就是说，一个城市 可以为老百姓、可以为这个社会创造价值的数据，都应该在这个大脑上。我们的各个企业可以很好的利用好这部分公共资源，来创造出新的价值来。同样的，政府也可以用好这些东西，来更好的服务跟管理这个城市。